All right, y'all, today we got why David is not arrested yet. This is kind of the question that most of us have been asking. We've said it multiple times. Why isn't this guy in jail? It doesn't make sense. The evidence that we have against bro doing this heinous crime is overwhelming at this point. It feels like the internet is moving faster than the officials. So this doesn't really make sense. So I'm actually very interested in watching this video. Maybe it can break it down. Maybe there's some type of strategy that they have behind the scenes that seems to make sense in their eyes. But honestly, in my personal opinion, I don't know how much more we need. Bro did that shit. I don't know if he's the one that actually pulled the trigger, but I think it's pretty safe to say that no matter what, at this point, blood is on his hands. Let's get right into the video, man. Make sure you guys tap into the Berto 2 channel. The link to that will be in the description. We're trying to get to 26,000 subscribers. You guys are gonna be getting regular uploads on there as well. Y'all already know what to do. Where you at, family? Let's do it.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look sweet.
David has canceled all remaining U.S. tour dates, including his upcoming LA show,
That's
as
a
the
new
medical
update right
examiner
there.
continues to determine the cause of death. A lot of people are asking, how is this guy not arrested yet? With an investigation like this, the LAPD has to get this right. They can't mess up at all. I have a post from someone who says they're an attorney and they explain how it works. But first, the internet detectives are out again. And look at this screenshot, man. I mean, what the hell? Please adopt me. I need it. Someone comments on David's TikTok. He replies, at 0907, should we? Do you see what's familiar about 0907? Look down here. It's Celeste's birthday. So clearly he was mentioning
shit.
Celeste's TikTok, asking her, should we adopt this random fan? Like kind of as a joke, you know what I mean? Isn't that sickening? This is an underage girl he's asking that to. He is straight up asking a child to adopt a child with him. If this is her
my
TikTok,
God.
which, I mean, let's be honest, it looks like it's her TikTok, right? The birthday thing. What's the obsession with this birthday situation? Like the uploading of music on her birthday too. Like this is all so bizarre to me. Hi guys, I'm an attorney. I do not practice criminal law, but I got an award for criminal procedure, so I like to think I know a thing or two about it. I also practice civil rights law, which has involved lawsuits against the police department for procedural due process violations. That said, I have no practical criminal law experience, only some criminal pro, so I can only speculate on what is routine/common versus what is abnormal, especially in California. I'm not licensed in California. None of this is legal advice. With this popular of a case, there's a lot of pressure on detectives to get this right. That means being thorough. In order to make arrests, you have to have probable cause that the crime has been committed. This has to be backed by evidence, which the DA presents to a judge. If there's anything wrong with the evidence, the case can be dismissed. Usually they can bring charges again if evidence is gathered at a later point.
But again, I'm not a police officer. I'm not a detective. So I guess maybe on the technical legal side of things, there's something that we just as the people can't understand. But Jesus Christ, can it not be more crystal clear that this man was having relations? Bro, again, I must be dumb, but we have eyes. Y'all have eyes.
But in order to make sure that doesn't happen, each individual piece of evidence must be independently verified. They have to track down the source of each photo, of each message, and ensure that it came from accounts belonging.
I guess that makes sense. And, you know, again, people, we do live in the age of AI. And again, I'm not even suggesting that any of the stuff is AI or it's not real. It's just, I get it. I get it.
From David or Celeste, and determine that message has not been altered. So what he's saying is, like the Discord messages, text messages, all these texts we've seen, they have to get a search warrant for this shit, like, and verify it's actually Celeste and David. Search warrants take time. This is required for each piece of documentary evidence to be admissible in court and is used to prove the veracity of evidence. This takes time and can lead down other little rabbit holes. For example, if they have a lot of evidence from the Dean Blunt Lover account, that's an Instagram account that some people think is Celeste's like hidden Instagram account. I wasn't able to find it. I think it's gone now. They have to subpoena Snapchat to ensure that it was actually Celeste's account. Oh, this is talking about the Snapchat. I saw an Instagram account. Or get sworn affidavits from witnesses who can testify to that fact. What's really critical is that if any evidence is obtained without a warrant or insufficient evidence to obtain a warrant, that evidence is deemed fruit of the poisonous tree and cannot be used at trial. They have very specific rules they have to follow concerning each step of the investigation, and it takes time, especially when most of the evidence that we have is digital.
I guess that makes sense too. They also probably don't want to. Yeah, you know what? Now when we really think about it, if they were to half-ass anything and then, you know, try to, you know, give this guy a charge, and then in any way, shape, or form he's able to get away with it when we all know the truth, that would be so bad. That would be so bad. So Yeah. I'm starting to. It's starting to make sense.
Coming from hundreds of accounts. They definitely have David under surveillance so that he cannot leave or hurt other people. He probably was told not to leave the country, which is in part why his tour was canceled. Yeah, a lot of people are obviously reporting his tour is canceled, especially the overseas dates that are coming up. I'm surprised he still did shows apparently after the body was found in general. But once this body was ID'd to the public, this tour was over. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way he's going to go on. The police are dotting their I's and crossing their T's to ensure that David's defense will not be able to have the case dismissed or evidence withheld at trial. They also have an interest in presenting an overwhelming case in anticipation of obtaining a plea agreement, likely to protect her family from a very public and exploitative trial. Finally, they may suspect that David had multiple co-conspirators and may be investigating any leads related to that before they make an arrest.
You know what? You're right. I mean, at the end of the day, like, David, I mean, he could have, but I almost don't even want to give him this much credit. He left a body in a Tesla. Like, there had to be other people involved for him to, you know, get away with it that far up to this point, right?
So that he cannot leave or hurt other people. He probably was told not to leave the country, which is in part why his tour was canceled. Yeah, a lot of people are obviously reporting his tours canceled.
Oh, my bad, y'all.
In general, the police are dotting their I's and crossing their T's to ensure that David's defense will not be able to have the case dismissed or evidence withheld at trial. They also have an interest in presenting an overwhelming case in anticipation of obtaining a plea agreement, likely to protect her family from multiple co-conspirators, and may be investigating any leads related to that before they make an arrest. That's another thing. There could be a lot of people involved in this. Like I said in my last video, if it wasn't David, it's someone he knows, bro.
Yeah.
A minor that he was allegedly in a romantic relationship with ends up dead in his car near his house. There could be a lot of people involved in this whole shit show, bro. And let's not forget the fact that she was dismembered and they only found part.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. It's like we get so caught up in all the other mess. It's like when you start remembering and hearing those little minor details, it's like, bro, this is sick. You dismembered her body.
Of her body and the front trunk. Each day, bro, I still can't believe this is a real story. This is so disturbing. It strengthens their case substantially if they can get other people to cooperate who are willing to testify against David in exchange for a lighter sentence. David or anyone he knows is accused of doing this. If they can flip his co-conspirators, they are much more likely to get a confession that they can use in court and ensure a victory. They need to confirm things such as her cause of death. I had some people comment like, what the fuck are you talking about? Her cause of death is murder. They need an official cause of death from the autopsy with the exact cause of death, because that can change how they charge people to determine whether,
yeah, that makes sense,
whether he should be charged with murder or dismemberment of a corpse. And then if she was murdered, when did it happen? Was it premeditated? They need to be able to
I guess, you know what, you're right. Yeah, we need all this.
Allege each element of each crime they charge him with. You can't just say looks like he did it.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I guess the example I was gonna say is like in a case where you just, yeah. The point I was about to say is just dumb, because what I was gonna say is if you just saw somebody do the crime, then there's witnesses right then and there, and he would just go to jail right then and there. And it's like, we saw him. There's not an if, ands, or buts. You know, we have a bunch of evidence, 100% saying people agreeing like we just saw this person commit that crime. And even though it's like technically we feel that way on a technical level, we still don't know.
To be able to reasonably claim that he caused her death, among other things, using actual evidence. If they want to charge him with murder in first degree, they have to allege facts based on evidence. That David had malice aforethought. Every charge has to be broken down in each individual element supported by probable cause. They can raise or lower, or even drop charges after discovering more evidence. But that initial bar is critical to ensure that charges stick. If all strong evidence they get later is based or unverified sham evidence, it all gets thrown out. You would think that they have enough to get him on abduction at least, but if it's true that people in Celeste's family knew or accepted money at any point,
even that though, and that's how I was feeling. I was like, where the fuck is the parents this whole time? Like, yo, I don't want to allude to the parents guilty too, but they the parents failed her for sure. That's 100%. The parents in this situation, I feel like they have failed this girl. But does the plot thicken? Were they on some weird shit where they were okay with this?
they may need more evidence to demonstrate he didn't have their permission to take Celeste. It's very complicated. Here's talk about a search warrant. When the police have a search warrant for you, it's usually for a good reason. The fact that they are able to obtain a search warrant for his electronic devices and his home means that a judge agreed there was reasonable suspicion to believe a crime had been committed in the house he was renting, or at least the crime had occurred, and the home, specifically David's computer, contained evidence relating to that crime. It's a strong indication that an arrest is to...
This shit's starting to feel like an O.J. Simpson case, bro. This shit's starting to feel like O.J. Simpson all over again. This is like our version of O.J. Simpson, but instead he's a fucking dork that paints his nails and is obsessed with Hello Kitty.
follow. They aren't going to release
And a P.
information until that happens. However, because they don't want to startle David into running, fighting, or hurting himself. So that's a very basic explanation on why this is taking so long, and it's an educated guess from someone who's saying there's a lawyer. It all sounds right to me. The next thing that is going around today is now a screenshot that says 1 year ago, me and @deleted_user got a kid on the way, and the @deleted_user people are saying is Celeste, and now the internet is running with it that he got her pregnant, and that's why he killed her, because that's obviously one of the theories. Honestly, I think that was just a joke. I've seen people joke around about having a kid all the time in group chats and shit, and he's a popular artist, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was a joke. And we don't even know for sure this deleted user was actually Celeste anyway. In Discord, remember someone said in 2024 release that certain song about the missing girl, and they put Celeste's full name in there in the group chat. David's Discord mods, the people that handle his Discord, have responded, and they're saying, we, the Discord and Twitch staff team, want to clarify what we knew and what we didn't know regarding Celeste. We were not aware of her true age or that she was a missing person. We also did not have any contact with her outside of what was public. From what we shared in David's Twitch streams and from her role in the server, we understood her to be around 18 or 19. She appeared in 2 streams, but otherwise was not active in the server.
What I will say from the things that I have seen, if you're just minding your business and didn't know this girl at all, she's kind of covered all the time. She always has a hood on. Like, she's kind of, I can see in these like Discord mods defense how it's like she doesn't just look like a 12-year-old outright, at least in all the clips that we've seen. Mind you, she's fucking covering her face, hoodie on 90% of the time. So I could definitely see how, again, if you just didn't know what was going on, you don't just assume the nigga is kidnapping and is a P. But, you know, if you did know though, man, you honestly a part of the problem.
And we not have an ongoing communication with her. Most of us are not located in California, so we are not aware of any missing persons reports connected to her. Additionally, the staff team has had minimal contact with David or his management. And here's the big part. The mention of her full name within the server was not seen in real time due to how fast the chat moves when David pings everyone. That's actually true with Discord. If the person pings everyone in the chat, it does move very quickly. Discord chats can move very fast. So maybe mods missed this name and just never saw it. But who knows if they're lying or not. As a result of this situation, the majority of the staff team has left the server and we no longer associate with David. Another Discord mod posted this. Yes, I was Discord mod for David. No, we did not know anything. Everybody's attacking my friends. Please leave us alone. We hate him as much as you do. All we can do is hope for justice served for that young girl's family and they can get closure they deserve. The only thing that was known is that he had a girlfriend named Celeste. We weren't aware of her age or anything. We barely had contact with David or his label. That one person mentioning the full name of the missing girl wasn't seen by many of us because of how fast the chat was moving.
I can honestly, again, you know, Discord's a weird place and there's a lot of scarcity when it comes to those like type of platforms, but just from what I know with celebrities that have Discords and whatnot, they're kind of self-independent, especially when they start getting really, really big, where the content creator or the musician or the artist in question, they're not the ones necessarily running the Discord server. It's not the label involved. David's probably not overly involved. I wouldn't even be surprised if a mod was a person that made the Discord for David in the first place. I mean, one of y'all in my community, in the Where You At family community, y'all made my Discord. I don't even know how to, you know, be that technical and do everything that a Discord needs to function. All that to say, I can genuinely see how an honest fan is just supporting his favorite creator and they're not seeing the red flags waving in their face, even though they're right there, but you're also not looking for them.
When David pinged the whole server. The misinformation on the internet is crazy. That has been a narrative on Twitter that the Discord chat is like well aware of everything and they're in on it and they know that she's underage and they're fine with it. I honestly do believe that some of these Discord mods missed it, but at the same time, it's very suspect. This whole thing is so fucked up, bro.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint who to believe and what to believe at this point. But the only grace I will give at the end of the day, I don't think some random Discord mod living on the other side of the earth that doesn't even know David's probably never met David in real life ever is responsible for what David is doing on his own time. You know what I mean? That is 100% David, his, and what he has going on. So while it's sus, while it's like, damn, we could try to point the fingers at them, that I don't think that is where our answer lies.
It's really fucked up. Another video from June 2024 has surfaced of Celeste walking backstage. At least people are saying it's Celeste, and it does kind of look like her. And apparently she did dye her hair at some point. They're saying this is Celeste. It definitely could be her.
It does, man. And she's always hoodied up. And again, bro,
another thing going around about the Tesla
it could be her.
cameras. People don't know that Tesla cameras don't save footage unless you have a setting on that drains a lot of battery. You have to have Sentry mode on and a hard drive in your car that doesn't constantly go over the footage. I have a Tesla, and for me to save footage, I literally have to hit record, and it records like the last few minutes. But if I never hit record, that footage is gone because I don't have the big hard drive in my car. Like, you have to buy an extra hard drive and then put a setting on that drains your fucking battery. So it's like very inconvenient. I highly doubt this Tesla had this footage. I'm going to be honest. Like, that's not how Teslas work, sadly. And Tesla doesn't keep any footage on like a cloud server. That's not a thing either. So that's another question that's being passed around a lot. But yeah, the police are working on this. They're going to figure it out. I mean, they have a dismembered 14-year-old girl in a car. They're going to figure it out. Trust me. Celeste GoFundMe is down in the pinned comment for her funeral. Rest in peace. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I love you.
Word. I'm actually here. I'll show you guys this as well. I didn't, yeah, if you guys want to go check out this information on Cuff Boys and drop a donation, sorry for the voice crack, drop a donation for Celeste GoFundMe, y'all go do that, man. You know, again, rest in peace. We've been covering the situation. I've been bringing, you know, new updates to you guys as I see them. But, you know, I guess that gives a lot of clarity, bro. You know, I just am worried that, like, I don't know. I don't wish this, but I just have this, like, gut feeling that David's gonna try to do some hoe ass shit to try to escape his fate that needs to be brought upon him. You know what I mean? And I'm feeling like it's on some GTA shit. If you know what I'm saying, in GTA, of course, you know what I'm saying. And I just I feel like he need to face that, bro. He need to face that. Their justice needs to be served. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Hopefully this clears some stuff up. You know, it doesn't really bring any ease, but I guess it brings some clarity that there's a lot of pressure on the police to do the right thing here. And if they don't come correct, a good lawyer might be able to put a hole in this case and he might fuck around and get away. So I do understand that perspective. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. My name's Berto. Where you at, family? You already know what it is. Tap into the Twitch. Tap into Berto 2. Subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Where you at, Berto?